They are perilous, and he keeps landing in scandal after scandal, all to do with parties that allegedly took place at Downing Street when the rest of us were locked down. The latest revelation is that he had a birthday party with 20 or 30 people when the rest of us were only allowed to meet one other person outdoors. So it's all pretty shocking. But the thing that worries me at the moment is that I think Partygate has become so much bigger than the parties. And I think lots of people in the media and politics are using this scandal to try to score some political points against Boris and against Brexit. And I'm worried about that political skullduggery as well as the scandal itself.
Is that in the context of some MPs already signing letters to bring on a no confidence vote against the Prime Minister?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things going on at the same time. So lots of Tory MPs, so MPs in Boris Johnson's own party, are losing faith in him, are losing patience with him. So they're signing letters and trying to get, I think it's 54 letters they need to have a vote of no confidence. I'm not sure they will make that, but that's definitely a worry for Boris Johnson, the fact that relatively significant numbers of his own MPs are out to get him, essentially. But then on the other side, we have people from outside the Tory party, people in the Labour Party, people in the liberal media, small L liberal media, people in the cultural elites and elsewhere who are really exploiting this scandal because they don't like what Boris represents and they don't like Brexit in particular. And he was elected in 2019 on a ticket of getting Brexit done. So he's been attacked from both flanks at the moment. I think my feeling is that he will manage to pull through this, but I think it's going to be a big struggle.
The thing that might help him do that and give the Prime Minister somewhat of a reprieve is that senior civil servant, Sue Gray, reportedly delaying her report now amid the revelation the police are investigating the parties at Number 10.
Well, it's still unclear at the moment, but you summarised it correctly. And it's quite shocking that the one thing that might give Boris Johnson a reason to have a sigh of relief is that the police have decided to investigate his parties, which might mean that this report from Sue Gray, the top civil servant, might be delayed a little bit. So it's a desperate Prime Minister who needs a police investigation to give him some breathing space. So that just gives an indication of how serious the problems are. But it's not clear at the moment whether the Sue Gray report will be published this week or not. The latest I've heard is that it will be published and the police are not against it being published before they carry out their investigation. So I think probably we need to get this report out there in the open as soon as possible so that everyone can know exactly what was going on. We can have an honest discussion about the problem and then hopefully move on and get back to normal politics.
Finally, Brendan, you spoke about people criticising Johnson from all sides, copping flack, including those who didn't support Brexit and so on. But honestly, he could not have given them a bigger gift, could he, in terms of the way he and his staff behaved here?
Absolutely right. He gave them an open goal, and they would have been fools really not to take it. Yes, he did. The government and its officials have behaved very badly. And I keep looking at the dates on which they allegedly held huge parties, and I keep looking back at what I was doing on those dates. I checked my Instagram posts to see what was I up to. And most of the time I was either sat at home on my own or sat in someone's garden 6 feet away from them having a can of beer. You know, most people lived by the rules. Some people broke the rules, of course, and they kind of snuck around and felt very scared while they were doing so. But then in the seat of government where they were making these rules, they seem to have been breaking them on an almost weekly basis in order to have boozy parties. So that's very serious. He gave his opponents an open goal. He deserves the flack he's getting, but I'm worried about the over-politicisation of it and what that might do to democracy in this country.
Brendan O'Neill, editor of Spiked Online. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.